This is your dough blade and is great for mixing and kneading all sorts of doughs, bread, brioche, pasta, gnocchi and cookies. It works on the rapid kneading principle, so for the majority of doughs, the motor only needs to be running for between 30 seconds and a minute.
Place on the main bowl and fit the dough blade onto the motor shaft and rotate to drop into place. Add all the dry ingredients into the bowl and place all the wet ingredients in a pourable container. For the most effective kneading and proving of your dough, the liquid temperature should be around 40 degrees Celsius. About 1/3 boiling to 2/3 cold works well.
Please note the maximum quantities of dough you can knead for your food processor. These can be found in front of your recipe book or by clicking the link below this video. In my case of a 5200, it can knead up to 1.2 kilograms, which is around 700 grams of flour for a simple loaf recipe.
Place on the lid at 7 o'clock, then turn to 6 o'clock to click into place and fit in the pushers. Press auto to mix the dry ingredients together. Then with the motor still running, remove the middle and smaller pushers and pour the liquid through the feed tube in a continuous drizzle. You can tell when to stop pouring in the liquid when the dough just about forms a ball. As you can see here, this is the consistency you're after. Then allow the dough to knead sufficiently. Usually this is around 30 seconds after a dough ball has been formed. Please note that the water quantity it takes to form a dough ball will vary depending on the type of flour used. Only use the recipe as a guide. Press stop to switch off the food processor.
If you are following a non-Magimix recipe, when it says knead for 10 to 12 minutes, that will be talking about kneading by hand. 4 to 6 minutes will be referring to using other kitchen machines. However, in a Magimix, that translates to only 1 minute of kneading.
The dough blade can also be used to stir chocolate chips, dried fruit or nuts into the dough. After kneading is completed, add the ingredients into the bowl along with 25 milliliters of water. Place on the lid, followed by the pushers, and then short tap the pulse button a number of times to incorporate into the dough. Also, after kneading, if your recipe requires a higher hydration level, for example 80%, this is the time to incorporate into the dough using this pulse technique. Finish off with one long press of the pulse button at the end to fully combine. Using the spatula, remove the dough from the bowl. Remove the pushers, followed by the lid, and then scrape the dough off the blade. Then take off the main bowl and scrape out the dough onto a surface. The spatula is also really useful in moving the dough around while shaping and proving. To clean the dough blade, remove the cap using your thumb and forefinger and then rinse. Use a bottle brush inside if necessary.
Alternatively, as with all Magimix accessories and bowls, place in the dishwasher following the recommended temperature for plastics.